Hello everyone and welcome once again to another live protocol video. So on this video we're going to be talking about the INFJ personality type, but to be more specific we're going to go back to the dark side of each type, focusing this time on the INFJ. This time I decided to change things a little bit. I'm going to pair one, let's say, INFJ on the light side and one INFJ on the darker side. I think it's going to be very interesting to see the traits of the personality type being used in two completely opposite ways. Also in this video, there's going to be a lot of Jordan Peterson believes this or Jordan Peterson said that. But I want to say that's not entirely accurate. I'm not trying to put words on Jordan Peterson's mouth. What I'm trying to say is that that's what I believe he was trying to transmit to people. So this is my belief of what I understood from his lectures, his speeches, his interviews. With that being said, let's jump into the video and discover how one of the most righteous and empathetic types can actually fall so far away from grace or can reach really, really high heights. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you love the show.
The INFJ dark side. INFJ, a rare mix of feeling and intellect, this type is one of the rarest and one of the most misunderstood. They can be a mystery even to themselves. They tend to be very insightful and empathetic, sensitive and private, yet they have a real longing for true human connection. They earned the reputation of social chameleons, as they tend to adapt to whoever they interact with. Even though they are highly principled, they too can fall into the grasp of their dark side. INFJs are tremendously passionate. Their more reserved demeanor hides a fire that burns with the intensity of 1,000 suns, and if this passion is allied with the wrong cause or belief, it can become very dangerous. Fortunately, their acute sense of ethics prevents them from falling into the grasp of their dark side, for the most time. But there was a time when the world felt the might of an INFJ that fell from grace. I'm talking about Adolf Hitler. INFJs lead by example. This means they are not ones to stand idle when something tugs on the strings of their heart. Hitler is an example of how the tremendous passion of an INFJ, aligned with the wrong ideals, can have disastrous consequences. The dark side of the INFJ. But how can someone with the temperament to be the carrier of hope and positive change, be able to stray so far from the righteous path? Hitler believed the German people were unjustly blamed, when they were solely held responsible for World War I. Germany was forced to disarm, reduce their military numbers considerably, concede a vast part of their territory, and pay high monetary reparations to other countries affected by the war. Reparations so large, they meant the crippling of the German economic system for decades to come. The Germans knew it, but had no choice but to accept. Eventually, these reparations actually led to the economic collapse of Germany. This treaty was called the Treaty of Versailles, and it was what spawned Hitler's outrage. And this is when his personality type of INFJ provides him with the right tools to win over the German public opinion, and push his own agenda. Hitler used this treaty as tinder, to inflame the hearts and minds of the German people. He understood that after the impositions of the Allied countries, the country was left in shambles. He felt that the population was looking for a strong leader. In other words, his INFJ senses understood the state of mind of the German population, and he delivered them exactly what they sought. INFJs do this with relative ease. Normally they use this skill for good, and with a simple well-placed and timed sentence, they are very capable of changing someone's life for the better. We have an amazing example of an INFJ that does that regularly in our present time. His name is Jordan Peterson. Peterson is a famous clinical psychologist, YouTube celebrity, author, podcaster, and former professor at Harvard and the University of Toronto. Jordan Peterson exhibits great passion in his speeches and interviews with his guests in his podcast. He has countless times been brought to tears. Other times he cannot contain his more intense side, as he defends what he believes in with fiery passion. The difference between Hitler and Jordan Peterson is that the dark side seduced one, while the other always stayed strong, even in the face of severe adversity. Here are some examples. Hitler spoke about the supremacy of the Aryan race. He believed the German people were descendants of a master race that once inhabited the lost city of Atlantis. Jordan Peterson urges people to take responsibility for their actions and their lives. He encourages people to find and develop a strategy or vision for their future, and use it as motivation to improve their lives. Hitler's extremely misplaced and strong beliefs dictated that Jewish, black, and Slav people were inferior races, therefore suitable for slavery and extermination. Peterson defends freedom of speech and equality of opportunity for everyone. He ferociously opposes government-imposed compelled speech, which he sees as a step towards authoritarianism. Even though they are massively different from each other, both INFJs ended up in a position of influence, above the crowd, gaining people's attention and hearts. This is because INFJs are naturally masterful when it comes to understanding, perceiving, and connecting to the human mind. They are the MBTI type that is better suited to become a psychologist, life coach, educator, or sociologist. Hitler managed to convince an entire country, because he rid himself of any moral restrictions, and used the full unconstrained force of his INFJ skills. Jordan Peterson, on the other hand, encourages moral wisdom. It's one of the components that helps you find meaning he claims will sustain you, when your life inevitably goes through harsher times. Peterson was also able to attain legions of fans, but unlike Hitler, he never set out to do it. It happened as a side effect of his INFJ magnetism. Hitler was dangerous, and wanted his whole race to be dangerous. Peterson says we should be dangerous or capable of being dangerous, but not act on it. Because being able to be dangerous makes people strong, and strong people are robust enough to create a better life, for themselves and the ones around them. As in, if you're not capable of being dangerous, you cannot protect yourself and others, you become weak by default, and weakness transforms people, making them bitter, vengeful, and resentful. A lot is said about the empathetic nature of the INFJ, and they can, and have definitely made a big difference in the world. Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., and Plato are good examples. But everyone has a dark side, and INFJs are no exception. Hitler is one of those rare occasions where an unfortunate chain of events ended up twisting the mind so intensely that the dark side took hold. If there's one lesson I would like us to take from this video, is that we need to be eternally vigilant, as to prevent our more unfortunate life experiences to taint and corrupt us. INFJs have the capacity to remain respectable, exemplary, honest, and inspiring, but like everyone else, they also possess the capacity for great evil. And that is why INFJs like Jordan Peterson are so important. They stand as an example for us to follow, because rain or shine, they remain true.
If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.